Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Off Grid Knives Sidekick. This is the smaller version of the Backcountry, and I think if you're looking for a good companion knife for outdoor use, this would make a fantastic option. The camp knife, we'll talk about the Sheath in a little bit. This is from his Taiwan OEM, and they do a fantastic job. It might be the same one as Cold Steel, I don't know, but they do great work. This is a perfect size, in my opinion, for EDC at 7.65 inches overall. It has a 3.5 inch recurve drop point blade with a gray wash finish. It's a titanium nitride coating there that has been tumbled. It looks nice, should hide wear very well. Got a nice little top swedge that thins out that tip a little bit. However, it's definitely not a dainty tip. So if you need to do a little boring into some wood, prying, you could do some light prying with this. It'd be perfectly okay. And it is in one of my favorite budget steels, Sandvik 14C 28N, which is an incredibly tough steel. And another thing that I love about the steel, besides it being highly corrosion resistant, especially with that finish, is that it takes an incredibly sharp edge. I mean, some of the sharpest knives I've ever gotten off the sharpening stones is 14C 20N. It's an easy one to sharpen. It holds a respectable edge for its price point. It can handle a full mirror polish edge, and it can also handle that coarse lower grit edge. The jimping is fantastic. You got the little thumb scoop. That jimping, your thumb is locked in the saber grip. It's not going anywhere. Nice and comfortable. This should be a great slicer, especially if you're cutting on a flat cutting surface. You're doing a pull cut through. You could use that belly. If you need to make a finesse cut, say if you were cleaning small game out in the field. In-hand cuts are going to be great because you have that slight recurve. Even though I would have rather a little bit more just to give it that a little bit better aggression, it's still going to trap materials fairly well. Whenever you go to cut into it, this belly portion is going to get deeper and deeper into it until you get to the full-blown belly. Your sharpening choil is done very, very well. They brought that plunge grind all the way back, so you can be able to sharpen all the way back here until it'll start to thicken up on you. That's exactly how I like to see it. This isn't that big of a deal on my fixed blades because it's a quick, easy fix with my Dremel or my diamond file. Yeah, pretty stout blade stock at 0.14 or 3.5 millimeters with a mid-height flat grind that comes down to around 22 thousandths behind the edge. Let's see what this one can do. Man, when it comes to off-grid knives, I've had such good luck with their stuff coming extremely sharp out of box. You know, this one has the recurve, so it's a pretty aggressive cutter. I think it could have, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of a recurve there, just so it did a better job of drawing material into your cut. But the way it's sitting, it's slicing well. Now, right away, I could already tell the thickness on these scales are so hand-feeling. In the hammer grip, I feel like I can get so much force into what I'm cutting, especially with my medium-sized hands and the way they fit on this handle. Extremely comfortable. The saber grip is very, very comfortable as well. I could probably do this all day without getting fatigued, and that's the joy of having a more hand-feeling handle on it. And of course, being that you do have that extra belly, cutting on a flat cutting surface is an absolute breeze. You can do like I'm doing now, basically like a push rock king cut, and that's fairly easy. Or you could, do whatever style you want to do, and it's doing great so far. And that scoop, once again, like where my index finger is landing, right where that scoop comes up, I think it would have been cool if they would have extended the jimping up the little hump a little bit, just to whenever you need to get a lot of pressure in the downward cut like I'm doing now. But for the most part, I'm able to sit in that little scoop with my finger on the jimping to do these cuts, and it was rock solid, no movement. And that definitely helps me from getting extra blisters, something that makes me want to not do these tests. Because sometimes I get these knives and they just don't come sharp. I just don't get it. You know, that's the one thing a knife needs to do, is be sharp so it can cut stuff. And y'all wouldn't believe how many knives that I've gotten that are just, ugh. But, you know, whatever. Not so with Off Grid. I don't think I've ever gotten one that was dull, and I don't think I've ever gotten one that wasn't hair shaving sharp. I mean, it's been a while. I've been testing their knives for quite some time now. I don't remember when the first one was, but from what I can recall, they've all been really, really sharp out of box. Yeah, being that you have that higher tip, you just got to use that belly if you're going to do a drag cut like I just showed. But all this stuff, it did fine. I did notice a little bit of drag from the tubing on the coating, but other than that, it blasted through everything else. Absolutely no problem. I definitely would score this one with an A+. Man, I think every off-grid knife that I've gotten out of box was just stupid sharp. This one, definitely no exception. It came sharp. It performed great. I mean, especially, these are 59 bucks. That is insane. One of the things I like most about this knife are the ergos. And that is because, besides these being contoured and textured, look how thick these are. The thickness at the thickest portion is coming in at 0.743. Average thickness on a folder is 1/2 inch, 0.5. This right here fills out the hand perfectly. You don't have any crazy choil areas. It cants down, so it's going to conform to the palm of your hand. This right here, I could do this all day. You know, if you were making feather sticks or breaking down boxes or something, or doing some food prep, you could squeeze this for a long period of time before you can get any fatigue in your wrist or forearms like you would with something with thinner scales. This texture is perfection as far as grip goes. It's not overly grippy. It's just that perfect amount. And I'm gonna make a bold statement here. I've tested a lot of sub $100 EDC fixed blades, and I'm gonna say it right now, this right here has been the most comfortable EDC fixed blade that I've ever tested at this price point. Very, very comfortable. They don't have any hard angles left anywhere. The edges, these are all melted right here and here. No points anywhere. They really, really did a great job. And if you want to choke back right here, you have this little ramp with the jimping into the scale and into the spine of the blade that carries over into that. So if you wanted to hold it back here, you could. Then up here in the saber grip. Now this pull grip, it does feel a little awkward because of how far the handle drops down right here. But you can definitely do it. It's not gonna be the most comfortable thing to do. If you want to hold it in the reverse gas station knife fight grip, or the time to make feather sticks or something, you want to stick it into a log, it's gonna be very comfortable because this is nice and rounded over. Of course, full tank construction. You also have some jimps here that do offer some traction. But yeah, just look at that thickness here. Very, very nice. And another thing that I love, I like to do cuts in a pinch grip a lot of times. I love when I see these divots right here. So when you're in that pinch grip, you got something to grab a hold to and it's not uncomfortable. You know, if you need to do like a saw in motion cut, you can. Or if you're doing a pull cut like that, or doing a bellied cut, you could do it like that. Or either put your thumb right there, put this finger up there to guide you. Excellent job, well thought out handle. And if for some reason you got this wet, or you say you had nasty stuff from, say, cleaning an animal or something, you need to remove these scales, you can, because they're bolt-on construction. Nice big Torx T8 heads there on both sides. Now let's talk about the carry on this one. So comes with my favorite type of sheath, a fold-over taco style kydex sheath. This thing is fantastic. You got a little drainage hole at the bottom. Love seeing that. Just in case you get the sheath wet, it can dry out. You have extra lashing points here, and it comes with this belt clip attachment. Listen to the nice positive click. Absolutely no rattle. You have a nice push-off ramp there. I mean, yeah. When you can shoot it across the room, it's when you know you got a nice positive retention to it. The thickness on the kydex is nice and thick. so it should be able to retain its shape for quite some time. Your Kydex is coyote tan, just like the G10 scales on this one, and they also offer this in a black wash with a black G10. One thing I like about this one is it comes ready to carry. If you're wanting to carry this belt carry, you can easily twist the clip. You can carry it scout carry, or vertical carry, or canted carry. You know, sky's the limit because this thing spins 360 degrees. It's not my typical means to carry my EDC Fixed Blades. I usually like to clip them to the pocket, but I will say this one is a little heftier than I typically carry in the pocket. Not saying I couldn't do it, but it is a little bit heavier than I usually carry, because I usually like to put an Alti clip on it to carry mine. And with its current setup with the belt clip attachment and sheath, this one comes in at 7.46 ounces. So not terrible, especially not for a fixed blade. So far, the only way I've carried it is scout carry on my belt. That's just the way I was enjoying this one. We were out in nature trail behind my house. I had my longer pants on, so I had a good belt on, and I was able to carry it like that. But you can carry it whichever way you want. It comes with a great setup, so you don't have to buy anything if you don't want, or you can customize it the way you want to. Now, time for some size comparisons. As you can see, it's just a hair shorter than the Volseed XL Mink, and it's bigger than the original EDC Fixed Blade, the Off Grid Knives Hoglet, and it's just a hair shorter than the Kaiser Baby, and it's a hair longer than the Kaiser Harpoon. It's a decent bit smaller than the Kaiser Militao Fixed Blade, and it's just a little bigger than the Azure EDC Fixie. And lastly, it's in the middle of the anterior wrap 1 and 2. Now, being that absolutely no nice perfect, what are my nitpicks and complaints? Either I would have liked to see no recurve or a little bit deeper of recurve. That way, if it's got a deeper recurve, it's going to be a much more aggressive cutter, and you're really going to get the benefits of a recurve. Right now, it's a very almost non-committal recurve, so even though it is somewhat trapping the material, it's not as aggressive as it could be, but not a deal breaker for me. It'll still make it much easier to sharpen on a fixed angled system. I think the biggest nitpick I have is there's no lanyard hole. I'm not a big lanyard guy on my folders, but on my fixed blades, I love having lanyards and I love having jimping because I tend to use them harder than I do most of my folders, just because I know that there's no lock to fail or anything. And I think this one would have definitely benefited. You know, if you wanted to do some snap cuts or something, you know, it's not that heavy enough to do much, but if you had to in a pinch, you could do it, but you don't have anything extra to hold on to, just the back butt of the knife. But once again, at 59 bucks, this is a total package. So none of that stuff for me is a deal breaker. And if none of it's a deal breaker for you and you're interested in this one, I can highly recommend this one. Just like whenever I first got the Hoglet, I was able to highly recommend that one. Hopefully we see more EDC size fixed blades coming from Off Grid, because they make a very high quality product. And I think this is such a high value here because of the, you know, nice thick slabs there. You got 14C 28N. You got an excellent Kydex that's already ready to carry. You know, everything I look for in my EDC Fixed Blades. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the new Off Grid Knives Sidekick. Do you like it? Is there anything you would change? If you own one, let me know what you think about yours. If you're interested in one of these and you want to help support the channel, my links will be down in the description below. That helps me pay for my testing materials, and I can't thank you enough. If not, no sweat at all. So that's going to wrap up today's video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. I hope every single one of y'all is having a fantastic day today. And remember, keep those blades sharp. Smile more. Peace.